Hey, what's up? My name is Brandon James. Before we jump into the story today, which by the way we're looking at Ezekiel 37, 1 through 14, I want to let you know that if you want to learn more about this story, you can go to the description, and in that description there's a free story guide. This is a guide that's going to walk through the story, give a couple questions, and let you know what's really going on in this section of the Bible. So with that, let's jump into looking at Ezekiel 37. The story is about hope. It's about maybe zombies? Let's take it back a step. Ezekiel, he's heard this prophecy from God, and he's told by God to tell the people that there's hope. God has explained that they will bring the people back to their homeland. The people of Israel are going to be safe, they're going to be cleansed, and they're going to become numerous for the world to know that God is who God says they are. Amidst this prophecy is this section known as the New Covenant, where God says, I will give you a new heart and I will put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you the heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. And so we begin this section in Ezekiel 37 following those words, those hope-filled words. However, the people of Israel have heard this, but they have two issues. One is that they don't have the hope. They haven't connected to that because it has been so long that they've witnessed the fall of Jerusalem. They've been scattered. They're no longer where they're supposed to be. They're disheartened. They've begun to believe that they will never see their homeland or even be a united people. But God gave them these hope-filled words, and like any skeptic, the second issue that Israel has is, how is God going to renew? How is God going to renew us as a people? How is God going to renew us as a nation? How will God replace that heart of stone? How will God give the people what they've lost? And so the section we're looking at today begins to answer those questions, and it starts with this vision, this otherworldly scene. God takes Ezekiel. This is a very in-depth vision. More than just the messages that Ezekiel's had and given before, this is an intense vision. Often God would speak to people, his prophets, with a verbal understanding, but this one is visual and it's vivid and it's deeper than other messages. So what is this vision? Ezekiel's transported in this vision to a valley that is covered with bones. Ezekiel looks out, presumably at a battlefield of bones, possibly referring back to chapter 6. God speaks to Ezekiel and says to prophesy over the bones. All those bones you see on this battlefield, prophesy to them. Ezekiel does this, and the bones, they begin to shake, they begin to rattle. Maybe this is an earthquake based on the language, but they rattle with a great force, and the bones begin to reassemble themselves. They begin to be covered with muscle and with flesh, and despite the look of new life, despite these bones standing, despite having skin and muscle, they're lifeless. They're like zombies. And so the next command is to prophesy that the wind would blow on these bodies. Breath enters the corpses and they are made alive. This breath refers back to the creation story where God breathes life into Adam. In this vision, the breath is more than just air. This vision, or this breath, is life. This word also means the Spirit. God is saying that they will refresh and resurrect Israel with the renewing of the Holy Spirit. These bones are dry and they're withered, but God acts on their behalf. God reshapes them, gives them this fresh spirit, and they become an immense army. Ezekiel tells this to the people of Israel, this message from God, where God says that I will bring you out of the graves to the land of Israel. Then you will know that I am the Lord. I will put my spirit in you and I will settle you in your land. Then you will know that I am the Lord. I have said it and I will do it. This theme of resurrection is not common to the Old Testament. This is really one of very few passages that speak to this power and this type of hope. And so while this vision was and is directed to Israel, it can still give hope today. This force of this vision has brought hope to many down the centuries. The power of God can change even the most hopeless of lives and situations. The story brings awareness and awe to the God who is able to revive the dead. It shows a God who cares about their people and continues to uphold their promises. God is a God of hope and resurrection despite the circumstances we might find ourselves in. This story also teaches about Jesus, the one who ultimately defeats death, the one who brings the new covenant by the shedding of his own blood, the one who breathes life into his followers before announcing the Spirit would come. See, this vision in Ezekiel is odd. It's a story we might not fully grasp due to visions and bones and zombies. But from this, we can know that God is able to resurrect us. God is able to breathe life into the situations and the hardships that we face. And above being able to do this, God will do this. God will give you new life, a new heart, a new spirit, and God will intervene against the world's injustice. The question is, will you choose to find hope in that? And how will you participate in sharing that hope? So if you enjoyed this video or want to know more, I encourage you to look at that story guide found in the description. If you like this video and you want to support me, you can share it, you can like it, you can subscribe to this channel, or also in the description, you can find me on Patreon. Thank you. Always remember to enter, to join, and to share the story.